Ayo, it's Crackalack and Challengers. I'm your host, James Morelan. Welcome back to a brand new video, and if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, I am recovering from a sickness. It's been brutal for the past week, but I'm finally getting enough energy to start filming again, and I want to make sure you guys had a video today, and I'm happy that I can actually film for you guys. So I actually already filmed this video and I made it, but before I started editing, I realized that I already changed so many things in the fish room that I really wanted to show you guys. And this week alone, some big things are going to be changing, so I kind of want to document all of this so you guys see the transition from what the fish room used to be to what it is going to be now. I'm also going to give you guys some sneak peeks because I am thinking about not just having fish in this room, kind of maybe getting some reptiles or insects that I've been looking into, and it's going to be awesome. So yeah, bear with me if my voice is a little down. Hopefully it doesn't sound too noticeable. I am feeling better today, so that's nice. I probably should get my flu shot too. But yeah, I'm super excited. Anytime I look at the fish room, like I love seeing the different colors of the different tanks. This is the only bad one, and that's what we're going to start with in this video, so let's get popping. So literally ever since I got the fish room, I've mainly had a problem with this one tank. And the main problem is I really don't like buying expensive lights because I always get plants that don't require high light. And I briefly mentioned this in the last video, but I don't really like having high intensity, high requirements for lighting, mainly because it's like so much more maintenance, even though I'd love to do it someday. But like right now, you guys know my college schedule. I might decide to get some more intense plants during winter break since I'll have more time, or maybe during the summertime when I have more time to my fish room. But yeah, also in this video, we're going to be talking about my saltwater tank because I've had so many questions about that. I really need to address that to you guys. But let's keep talking about the 60 gallon. So yeah, this tank is so tall and the lights that I always have aren't strong enough to reach the bottom of this tank. That's why very small plants like guppy grass are able to survive. I mean, I have jungle val right there that's still surviving, but all the other plants, I've scaped this before and all the other things die. And the only thing that can actually survive in this tank is like duckweed. So that's the only thing really growing in this tank, and you guys can see I added fake plants to compensate for it, but they just look nasty, so this tank has to go. So what I'm going to be doing is catching all the fish, catching all the shrimp, moving them over to my 90 gallon, and also some of my smaller tanks over there, like the neon tetras and stuff. My friend was actually over here, he caught the other golden tetra. There are so many shrimp in here, it's going to take hours, but once I'm done with this tank, I might give it away to someone in the area or sell it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or something, just to get rid of it, and then I'll paint the wall behind it. You can see I didn't paint the wall because I couldn't reach with the brush and I couldn't move the tank because it's so heavy. So I'm going to paint the wall, and then I don't really know what I want to have here. What I am considering doing is moving my empty 55. I was originally thinking about giving this tank away too or getting rid of it, but I actually want to keep it because it's going to be an aquarium or a terrarium, and I really don't know what to do. There's some really cool animals that I could get that aren't aquatic in this tank, but yeah, then I'll also be able to replace the light and stuff. So I really don't know what to do. I'm kind of contemplating just having a bigger aquarium and probably making it a really nice scape tank because that light will do great on here. And honestly, I really wouldn't mind buying another light even if it's more money. I just really want to have another aquarium that looks like something like this because this thing is so beautiful. It's like literally a piece of art, and you guys know how much I love my art. Like if you don't follow me on Instagram, I made this painting in the fish room. This is my painting. It's called a drip painting. It's based off of Jackson Pollock, but it's like such a cool design, and it's like right in my fish room, so yeah. Also, I painted this jellyfish. Oh, I also painted these two. So yeah, like aquariums are like that, and you guys know I love betta fish mainly because they're just like flowing piece of art and they're so beautiful. But yeah, so that's the plan for this tank, so I'll be able to keep the concrete cinder block stands. I also do have this nano tank right there, but that's a spoiler. I honestly have had that for months and I haven't done anything with it. I'm hoping to do something with it in the future. So then onto my 20 gallon. You guys know basically these tanks, what I'm planning on doing. I've talked about that in the past video. So this is going to be a pretty nice scape tank with guppies and shrimp, and I have some really cool hardscaping objects. And underneath here, I used to have a 10 gallon in here, but for now I put this piece of paper just so it's not empty. But back here I could have like a 10 gallon or a small tank. I don't really know. I might just keep it empty because it sucks doing water changes when the aquarium is low to the ground because it's hard getting a suction to get the water out. That's why I want to have them higher up so it's easier to do maintenance and take care of it. You can also see how bad the algae is looking in this tank. It's starting to come back. In case you missed the last video, we basically destroyed all of these 3 aquariums, removing all the plants, all the living like stuff like that just to remove it, mainly to get rid of the green hair algae. So my plans are, since it's not getting rid of it even with like lower lighting, I'm planning on just getting some amino shrimp and also some nearite snails because nearite snails are A1 at getting rid of algae, especially green hair algae. So I'll take care of that and also have to start picking it out like I was doing before, which kind of sucks because I want to wait until I get rid of all the algae before I start getting plants, but I'm honestly becoming too impatient. And that's the same thing with this tank. Not really as much, but you guys can still see a little bit of the algae, and we have some of the rocks and hardscape material for the next couple videos. And you guys know my 90-gallon. Nothing's really changing in this tank except it'll be getting the rest of the fish from this tank. Now let's talk about my saltwater aquarium. Sad face. You guys are probably not gonna like this. Oh, okay. My saltwater tank. Oh, my throat hurts. You guys might remember my 20-gallon saltwater tank, and I had 2 beautiful clownfish as well as a couple different types of shrimp and also turbo snails and also blue hermit crab snails. I've had that tank for so long, but you guys know how much I like the saltwater just because it was such a different dynamic from freshwater, and I also enjoyed like having coral and stuff. Ever since I've had the tank, it's been so hard to take care of. If you think your freshwater aquarium is hard to take care of, try like tripling it, just because when you're doing water changes, it's not as easy as just removing the water and adding it back in. You literally have to get a 5-gallon bucket, mix it, remove the 5 gallons, add the new fresh salt water in there. You can't just pour water in and then add the salt. You actually have to pre-mix it, and also checking the salinity like every couple days. Oh, it's a nightmare. It was so hard. And then also, you guys might remember when I was trying to grow coral, every time I tried growing the coral, they died. And that was like way worse because like I would spend quite a bit of money on coral because coral is expensive. But yeah, each time it would die, and I tried measuring the salinity right, and I had the heater, everything monitored. I had the right timing on the light. I had the right sensitivity and the right brightness. Also, it suffered greatly from green hair algae. Also, diatoms. I think that's the word, diatoms in the aquarium. So, like, that sucked. And it was my first saltwater tank, so it was, like, a lot of work having to take care of it. And you guys remember when I made my comeback video with all the things that was going on? Having to deal with that tank was, like, so much worse. So I decided it was best to get rid of the fish and the stuff in the aquarium and just drain it. I don't know if I want to give the tank away or if I want to keep it and maybe turn it into a freshwater tank. Or honestly, maybe just try again with saltwater. It was just like so much work. And I'm not trying to say that I'm lazy. I'm just saying like having to maintain everything in that aquarium was like way harder. I mean, every once in a while I'll measure like the chemical balances in all my aquariums, but they're pretty much set. There's no like spikes in anything, so I don't really have to worry about that. But with like this tank, it was a completely different beast. Even after doing all my research on the like saltwater cycle of that tank, and then also having to do all the research like separately on the different inhabitants that I had in that tank and making sure everything would work together, it was like still so much. One thing that I actually really loved about the tank was that it's something called an all-in-one. So basically what that means is the filter and the sump and everything for the filtration is actually behind the aquarium, and it's all encased in like one like aquarium, I guess. I don't really know. But all the filtration was behind the aquarium, so it wasn't like a separate canister filter like I have in my main aquariums or like a hang on the back. It was all built in, so that was really smooth, really clean. And a lot of saltwaters have that. If I wanted to, I could drain it and possibly turn it into a freshwater. So that might be something I do in the future. I'm really just holding on to it, not really knowing what I want to do with it. So I have some options. I don't really know yet, but yeah. If you are sad about the saltwater, getting rid of it, just, I understand. I was also really upset, but I think it's honestly what's best for the fish room. Yeah. Alright, let's get off the sad stuff because it's kind of sad talking about my old clownfish, which were absolutely adorable, and like feeding them was also the best. Let me show you something really cool that you might have forgotten about because it's been so long since I filmed with it. You might be like, oh James, who are you talking about? James, who are you talking about? I'm talking about this guy, wherever he is. Oh, he's probably hiding. He's been shedding over the past couple days. So you guys might remember this. This is actually my terrarium where I have my leopard gecko. It's bioactive, and you can see on the inside all these little leaves and sphagnum moss. I have a couple worms in there and then also some isopods, but then I also have some crickets. And let me tell you something. I have actually started to fall in love with reptiles. Before, when I have my leopard gecko, I was like, okay, they're kind of cool, but they are actually freaking amazing. I watched a couple documentaries on them and like looking at all the characteristics and all the adaptations that each reptile has just to survive and live is so cool. Like, it's crazy. I'm really thinking about getting some and also maybe some insects. And I also love these terrariums. This is the Exoterra. They have different models like this, but they basically open like this, and it's so cool to open. Oh, there's a cricket. And crickets are so annoying. I'm gonna move and close it so he doesn't jump out. So if you don't know, crickets are those things that make those annoying sounds like this. Yeah, imagine having to listen to that in your fish room. And they actually make that sound. At least something like it. Like, they actually make that sound all the time. And recently I found out that there's these vents on the side, and they were actually able to escape out of it. And occasionally they would just run around in my fish room. And I have a couch right here, so I'll be sitting down, and I will seriously just hear this. And it drives me crazy. Oh my gosh. I also feed my leopard gecko mealworms. and also freeze-dried mealworms, but yeah, it's annoying. But then that leads me to this point. So this is my 60-gallon tall aquarium, but the 55 is basically the same dimensions, just quite a bit shorter. So what I might do is raise this up one more brick and then put the 55 where this tank is, and then probably get rid of this tank. And then I'm left with this big section, and this empty space could be filled up with some terrariums or insect tanks or other really cool things, and they'll be all right next to my fish room, and everything will be all encased in one. Also, the ceiling is really annoying, so I hung some like fake leaves so it looks like a little jungle. If you think that's cool, comment that down below. I might get more of them, but honestly, I kind of want to just get like a drop ceiling. It might take up a couple inches, but I think that would look really cool just having it flush instead of having to see all these pipes and insulation, because that is annoying. Alright guys, that is going to be it for the video. I've probably talked more that I have in this video than I have for like the past week, just because of my voice. Alright guys, I love you so much. Until next time, hit that like button and subscribe button. Also, if you wouldn't mind checking out wildpetsupply.com, it's my own online store. You guys can get some plants or snails for your aquariums, or if you have dogs, we have some awesome dog supplies there for you. I would love if you could check it out. Use the code YouTube to get 10% off your order. I love you guys so much. I will catch you all on the flippity flop. See you all later. Again, link down below. And also follow me on Instagram at James Morelan. I'd love to see you guys there. Have a great day. I'll see you all later. Peace.